Jack Odell Sailing. Loved by many, admired by more, and respected by everyone that he knew. Jack's long and eventful life started nearly a century ago when he was born to parents Eldon and Eleanor Lambert on April 29, 1931, at the Old Adventist Sanitarium in Portland, Oregon. In his early years, Jack experienced a childhood of constant change. As his parents eventually divorced, his mom would remarry Fred Sailing, who would end up raising Jack, which is why our last names are all Sailing today. In this new family, Jack gained two siblings in Karen and Bill. Because of Fred's military service, the family was constantly moving around the country, and Jack would end up attending 17 schools in his K-12 years until finally settling in at Roseburg and graduating from Roseburg High School. After high school, Jack attended Oregon State University, where he studied journalism and business while also working on the student newspaper, The Barometer. Jack, remaining true to his loyal self, stayed a lifelong Beaver fan and always watched whenever they were on TV, no matter the sport. After graduating from Oregon State, he would follow in Fred's steps and joined the Air Force. As fate would have it, nearing the end of the Korean War, he was stationed in England, and it is here where he would meet the love of his life and a young British beauty named Janet Elizabeth Woodford. After just a few months of dating, they would be married on December 10, 1955, and they would remain together their entire lives as their union ended upon Jack's death after nearly 70 years together. Once married, the young couple flew back across the pond and started their new life in Eureka, California. It is here where they would have their first son, Gene, in December of 1956. The family then made a quick pit stop in Medford, Oregon, and after a brief stay there, they would land in Portland as Jack took a job as a TV ad salesman for KGW. It is here in Portland, after a life of constant moving, where Jack would remain for the rest of his life. They bought a small house on 190th and Haslow, where they would continue to grow their family, adding two more sons, Eric, born in 1958, and Ben in 1964. 5 years later, they moved into a bigger house in Wood Village, and they would remain here for the rest of their lives. Jack was a man of many interests and loved everything that he did. In his working life, he enjoyed a 20-year career doing ad sales at KGW. His outgoing personality made him a natural to position, and he made the most of every day there. After 2 decades at KGW, he moved to KPDX, and eventually he moved out of the TV game and ended a 40-year sales career with jobs at Multnomah Kennel Club and Portland Meadows Horse Racing Track. His lasting impact in the working arena could be seen as even in his obituary, fellow co-workers going back decades left their fond memories of him. Upon retirement, Jack would not slow down. He kept active with family, volunteer work, and continued church involvement. Jack enjoyed his life to the fullest, as expressed in the many activities he participated in throughout his life. He spent 62 years working in the OSU football press box during Beaver games, in which he was honored by Oregon State in his final game. He was also a lifelong runner and even documented every mile that he ran throughout his life. His love of competition was strong, and it would stay that way even as he aged. In his younger years, he was a champion dart player, and in retirement, he played in senior softball leagues and golfed for decades, playing his final round at age 91. He also enjoyed weekly pinochle at the Lions Club and Rummikub with his grandkids, in which he ended the final standings as the winner over 10 years of documented games. Although Jack was known by many through his outgoing personality and many interests, his greatest treasure was his loving wife, Janet. They lived a beautiful life together and shared many adventures throughout the years. They traveled throughout the world with trips to Janet's English homeland and to Mexico in the winter among their favorite destinations. Throughout their life, they had many peaks, but also shared in great heartbreak and loss. But through it all, they did it together. It was their time at home and with family that they enjoyed most of all. They spent nearly every day together and built an incredible family community that still remains intact today. Jack and Janet have 6 grandchildren that all still remain close. This is because of the many summer days, birthdays, and barbecues in Grandma and Grandpa's backyard, along with the annual Christmas Eve party at their house. These Christmas Eves at Grandma and Grandpa's continued all the way up until last year, a tradition that will be remembered and cherished by all of the Sailings. Jack's legacy was felt by all, and he was a man that lived a long and full life and made it a point to try and make the most of each day. We know that he is smiling down on us from above while also keeping an eye out for the nearest game of cards. Upon your loss, Jack, all we can say is thank you.
When I think back to my favorite memory with Grandpa Jack, it's honestly hard to pick one specific moment in time. There are just too many to recount. We were all so blessed to enjoy decades of making the most amazing memories spent together. Grandpa taught me countless things, from learning to do my own taxes, teaching me how to golf at Helen Hollow, from holiday traditions of the Hunchback Santa, to picking fruits and veggies while playing cricket in the beautiful backyard. I truly value his devotion to me, as well as the lifetime of loving memories and traditions that I've been lucky enough to be a part of.
I'll never forget the way he relentlessly teased Grandma Janet, his hilarious Hunchback of Notre Dame impression, and the infinite amount of quirky things he did that made us all laugh. But more than anything, I'll remember how he showed up for me. Every game, every time, he was there. Even at my YMCA games, he was keeping score even though he wasn't supposed to. His humor, his love, and his competitive spirit are things I'll carry with me forever. Thank you, Grandpa. I'm gonna miss you a lot.
One of my favorite memories of Jack were our late night pinochle games together, especially when Eric joined us and we could play in pairs, Ben and I and Jack and Eric. And Jack would always get annoyed with me because I wanted to chat and visit with everyone. And he plays so seriously. I've never seen anyone who could count cards like he could.
Most of my memories of Jack that are special revolve around sports, us golfing, us going to Oregon State games, us watching all the kids' sports. But one of my special memories with Jack is that he and I used to go, just the two of us, for many, many years to the LPGA Women's Golf Tournament at Columbia Edgewater when it came. And that was always a really fun bonding time for us. I'm going to miss you, Jack.
What I'll remember about Grandpa Jack is his wit and his charm and how much he brought that into his life and personality. I'm reading some old letters of his that he was writing back home when he was stationed overseas, and it's special to see how much of that personality was shining when he was 22 years old in England all the way throughout his entire life. And I think that legacy will live on through the personalities of the people of his family, and that's something that I find very, very special.
I loved our summer barbecues at Grandpa's house. He always set up croquet and illegal yard darts. Grandpa's handmade fries are still the best I've tasted, and he always cooked the hamburger patty to be more pink on the inside than some people were comfortable with. But that was the way he did it.
Over the years, my favorite thing has been simply visiting the grandparents' house, being offered an RC to drink or maybe even some chocolate milk, and giving them updates on my life. I could tell Grandpa Jack loved hearing about the progress I was making in my career. I could tell he was proud and maybe could see aspects of his son Ben through me. But Jack has always made me feel better about the person I have been becoming, and I have been thankful to him for that.
Jack was an absolutely wonderful husband, and I miss him so much.
When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. When everything falls into place like the flick of a switch. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need to worry, there'll be days like this. When no one's in a hurry, there'll be days like this. When you don't get betrayed by that old Judas kiss. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need an answer, there'll be days like this. When you don't meet a chancer, there'll be days like this. When all the parts of the puzzle start to look like they fit, yeah. Oh, I must remember There'll be days like this, when everyone is up front and they're not playing tricks here, when you don't have no freeloaders out to get their kicks in, when it's nobody's business the way that you want to live. I just have to remember there'll be days like this, when you ring out the changes of how everything is. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there'll be days like this.